lights are off, it might be a little bit harder to locate your water bottle or get your note cards in order. Many tasks would be significantly harder in the dark, like cooking, reading a book, or showering. If you were to shower in the dark, it would be significantly harder to find your shampoo or your loofah. But after 3 years of consistently showering in the dark, you get pretty good at it. For several years of my life, I showered in the dark and avoided my reflection because I hated looking at my body. I had a rush of negative thoughts that would ruin my whole day anytime I did. I constantly compared myself to other people, and I rarely thought something good about myself. To some extent, I think everyone in this room can relate to that feeling. But before we get into all that, this is Joe. Joe may look like a fake cartoon monster, but let's pretend that Joe is real and he's someone you care about. Would you tell Joe that he looks like a monster? Would you point out his drool and his yellow teeth? No, you would not do that. You would find something nice to say about Joe. Although this is a stupid example because Joe is a monster that I traced from Google, it brings up an important question. Why can't we exhibit the same kindness that we give other people to ourselves? Over the past several years, I have learned to talk to myself the way we all talk to Joe, and I overcame my body image issues. So today, with the experience I have, we'll be delivering a tutorial on how to look at yourself in 3 easy steps. So I hope you enjoy. Step 1, surround yourself with positive people. You've probably heard the phrase, you are the sum of your 5 closest friends. A study by Harvard Medical School and the University of California took a survey and found that a person's individual network of friends affects that individual's well-being. If you are friends with positive, more happy people, you will be more positive and more happy, and your mood is boosted. Your boosted mood then affects everyone around you, and the chain reaction continues. This chain reaction is even stronger when you are emotionally close with a happy person. You physically live close to them, and when they are the same gender as you. Think of a sports team. Would you rather have a teammate that says, oh my God, this is so terrible, we're gonna lose, when you're going against the best team in the state, or a teammate that says, okay, let's try our best, even if you're actually not gonna win? We should think of friends the same way we think of teammates. We want them to be supportive towards themselves and towards us. Unfortunately, the textbook on body image, volume 3 of the textbook on body image, states that self-degrading, especially in female friendships, is a social norm. It is expected that we're mean to our own bodies. In fact, it is proven that women who talk bad about themselves are more likely to be liked by other women. It's important to break this cycle in our own friendships and be friends with people who lift you up and lift your friends up. So once you have healthy friendships with positive people, you're ready for step 2, act as if you are confident. TED speaker Emily Jansen, the first female general manager of a AAA baseball team, says that when people see themselves behaving differently, they then begin to act differently. She says that instead of starting with the attitudes of confidence, you start with the actions associated with confidence. So when you compliment others, you'll feel better yourself, because that's what confident people do. When you push yourself out of your comfort zone by public speaking, or going on a date, or doing something you've never done before, your confidence increases. This same philosophy can be applied to body image. Act as if you don't dislike your body. Don't suck in your stomach for a picture, and don't not eat because you don't want to be bloated later. Don't deliberately hide the parts of yourself that you don't like. When I stopped deliberately hiding my body from myself, I felt so much better about myself, and I noticed that. Which brings us to step number 3, changing the way I talk to myself. Every time I look in the mirror, it's hard for me to not expect perfection. I often see all the food that I ate that day, or all the traits that I don't have. I used to have a constant voice that compared myself to other people, and all the foods they ate, and the body type that they have. I hated on myself, and that affected all areas of my life. To counteract that, I remembered Joe, and how Joe represents someone I care about, and I would never say the mean things that I say to myself about someone I care about. If I can be nice to everyone around me, I can certainly be nice to myself. Now, although I'm nowhere near perfect today, I gradually got better at talking to myself in a positive manner, and that made me feel better about myself, which is not surprising considering that positive self-talk is proven to work. Baron Ashley of Valparaiso University conducted a study where she took students and told them to one positive affirmation about themselves once a day for 3 weeks, along with regular exercise. By the end of the study, the students were noticeably happier with their bodies. A study in Indonesia took 6 low self-esteem students and scored their body image. They were put through positive self-talk therapy for 3 weeks, and by the end of the study, their body image score had nearly doubled. David Sawyer, a clinical director and psychologist at the Center for Weight and Eating Disorders at the University of Pennsylvania, tells his patients to do this exact thing. He sits them in front of a mirror and tells them to say positive or neutral things about themselves. There are countless more studies to prove what we already know. Saying good things makes you feel good. And making an effort to be kind to yourself will make you feel better. The words we say to ourselves matter. So instead of tearing down the person in the mirror, make an effort to lift them up. So, you've completed the tutorial on how to look at yourself. We met Joe, and we learned how to improve our body image through the people we surround ourselves with, our actions, and the way we talk about our bodies. Being negative is second nature, but we can turn that around. Next time you look in the mirror, ask yourself, would I say this